Welcome back. Here we are on part 2 of chapter 11. We're going to look at some database filtering and some database functions. Let's jump over to the database sheet. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so we can see what's cooking. That looks about good. So here is my database. I want to make a criteria so that I can filter based on my criteria, and then I'm going to have an output range over here where whatever my criteria is will give me my output. So to do that, I'm going to select the header. So A2 through E2, copy, drop this in G2, but I'm not going to do a paste because watch what happens if I do a paste. It's kind of scrunched up. So what I'll do is I'll do a paste special. So I'll come over here, grab the down arrow, and I'm going to grab this one right here. It says keep source column width, or I could type a W. Now notice when I do that, my widths become the same sizes from where I copied. So I'll say, okay, that's what I want. And I'm going to paste that again down here in my output range. So that has to be the same. Now, when you're doing a filter, if you were to type this in and you make a typo, your filter is not going to work. So just copy it. Makes it so much easier. Okay, we're going to put in a state of NE and a date of 7/6/2024. Because it's on one line, this is called an AND function. It has to be this and this before it comes into my output range. Now, my IT will ask you for an OR. They'll say, make your criterion OR. What does that mean? Well, all it is it means the next line down. So if you did SD and then put in a date, if you went like 7/6/2024, it means that it's going to pull this stuff or this stuff. Okay, that's all it means. You have more than one criteria line. Or you could even have something from the city. If you want to put Lincoln in here, that would be fine too. But for our assignment right now, we only need the AND. So it's this and this, not the OR. Okay, but in my IT lab, you'll have that. All right, click in your database. We're going to go up to our data tab over here on advanced. Here's our list. We could filter it in place. I don't want to do that. I want to copy to a new location because here's my output range. This is where I want to copy it to. What's my criteria range? So I'll click in the criteria. I could click here either way. Grab my header so they match. And what do I want to filter it on? Okay, I like that. Where do I want to copy it to? And I'm going to copy it to my output range. I'll say okay. And I can see I have 2 that are filtered. Now, let's do some database functions. So I'm going to click over here in N2. Click on the F of X over here in my formula bar. And it says most recently used. I'm going to change this and come down to database. Now I have these daverage, dcount, dcount A. This is another good time to remind you guys the difference between account A, or account blank. Now, you'll probably see account blank on your MOS exam. What does that mean? Well, if I do account, it just counts cells that have numbers. Account A counts any cells, whether they have text or numbers. That's going to count how many cells are there. And account blank, of course, just counts the blank cells. You may see one or more of those on the MOS exam. Now I want to have total sales. What are total sales? Well, that's usually a sum function. So database sum, so dsum. I'll say okay. Where's my database? Well, it's from A2. I'm going to hold Shift Control right arrow, down arrow. Selects my whole database. If you cannot do that on yours, just highlight it. It doesn't matter. Just highlight the area. What field do I want? Well, because I want sales, it looks like it's going to be gross sales. So I'm going to type in gross sales. During this, I'm going to do this a couple different ways because you can do it several different ways and it'll work really slick. So I'll type in gross sales, hit tab. Where's my criteria? Well, that's going to be the headers and what do I want to filter it on? And I'll say, okay, now I have total sales of 138.5. Now, if I highlight these 2 here, look down on my taskbar, 138.5 for my total sum. So that looks like I'm right on pace. Now let's do a d-average. Click on my F of X. Here's a d-average. I'll say, okay, what's my database? Now this time I'll just highlight it. There's my database. What field do I want? Now this time I'm just going to click on it. Notice it says gross sales. What's my criteria? Well, that's still going to be my criteria range right here. And I'll click OK. There's my average. Next one, the highest. Since I'm again in the database, I'm going to use a D max. Click OK. Where's my database? Here. What field do I want? Now I'm going to do this one differently yet. I'm going to count how many columns I have over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm in the 5th column, so I'll type a 5. And what's my criteria? Criteria is the same right here. I'm rewarded with 72.5. And if I look down here, 72,750, this one and this one matches, okay, because that's my highest. I'm only looking at the 2. Now, my lowest. Come over here, D-min, click OK. Where's my database? What field do I want? I'll just click on it again. Now, if my IT lab asks you to type, then I would type it. And then my criteria, click OK. Now this 65,750, 65,750, they match. How many stores do I have? Well, let's go figure that out. I'll do a D count because I'm going to count the sales, which are numbers. If I were to count cities, I would use count A because count A is going to count whether it's a number or a text. Okay, so D count, database. What field do I want? Well, gross sales once again. Where's my criteria? Grab my criteria. It says there are 2 stores that meet that. And again, we can see that in our output range down here. Now I'm going to just zoom out just a little bit so we can look at this gross sales here. This is going to be an entirely new criteria. We're going to build a criteria using the information in this little window. What we want to do is we want to get the gross sales for Omaha and for the date ending here. So let's go grab our database get, click OK. Where's my database? Well, it's the same database we've been using. What field? This will be gross sales. What's my criteria? Now, this is where it changes a little bit. We're going to take this right here from M8 over to N9. So we want city and we want week ending. So we're going to have these 2 here. And it says it looks like it's 48,250. Now, if you've done that, followed along, let's go ahead and click in A1, hit save. I'll see you on the next video.